With us now, we want to bring in Alaina Campbell. She's the owner, Sprout Bake in Lake Orion. Great to have you with us. How are you today?
Thank you. Yes, it's great to be here on this sunny Monday morning.
We hope it's sunny for a while. The rain is supposed to be coming in. But with that, though, if I can ask you, because I know you're really kind of like a mom daughter duo. But if we can, before we kind of jump into the business side of it, give us a little bit of background. How'd you even come up with this, and what exactly is your company?
So it's probably like the invention of many products. It came out of necessity. So we found out my daughter was gluten intolerant and dairy intolerant, and she had been having a lot of digestive issues. And we were going to a lot of doctors trying to figure out what was going on, and discovered that it was, a gluten and dairy sensitivity that she had. Well, we loved to bake together. That was our thing, right? Making cookies and cupcakes and cake and all that fun stuff, right? That moms and daughters do. So the quest was, how can we bake together something that's gluten free that actually tastes good? And you've probably maybe tried some of the gluten free products that you can buy at the grocery store,
It's like
and
eating
they don't.
cardboard. Let's just go ahead and say it.
I was going to be nice, but yeah, my neighbor Aaron would tell me that. What kind of cardboard have you brought for me to try today?
That's nice.
And I said, there's got to be a way to come up with a gluten-free product that's nutrient dense, because that's the other issue with gluten-free products, is it's still white flour. It's potato starch, it's white rice flour. It's still devoid of nutrition. And those are flours that are going to spike your insulin levels as well. They're high on the glycemic index. So how do we come up with a product that, tastes good, that my kids will love, that has a lot of nutrition in it? So that's how we came up with the recipe. It took about 8 or 9 months. A lot of muffins and baked goods went in the trash. A lot of them I liked, but my kids didn't like. And that was the test, right? For any mom, the kids had to like it and want to eat it. If
So
they didn't want to eat it,
it didn't matter. And with that, Elena, prior to this, did you have any knowledge or even really give any consideration to the whole gluten free world and this, that, and the other? Or was this really like, we're going to jump in and learn together?
that's exactly it. I really, I knew friends or people that were gluten intolerant, or who had celiacs, but it had never affected my world. I grew up on a dairy farm,
Oh my
milking
goodness.
cows, literally milking cows twice a day. So we ate a lot of dairy and drank a lot of dairy. Now we drank raw milk, which is very good for you, by the way, and most people don't have an intolerance to raw milk. Um, but we, had bread every single day. So it had never affected my life before.
Wow. So, what an education as a mother, and then with your background as well, coming from the dairy farm. So, where did you learn about trying to come up with these recipes? Was it really just trial by error?
It was a lot of research. One of the organizations that I am part of, and I've been part of this organization for about 20 years, is the Weston A. Price Foundation. And it's an organization that seeks to educate people about nutrient dense food and eating food in its natural state and or prepared in traditional ways. So not our modern processed food, but preparing food the way probably our great grandparents and before prepared food. So raw dairy, raw milk, a lot of fermented foods like kombucha, which is amazing. It's you can find it in every store now, which is wonderful. I used to make kombucha myself 20 years ago because you couldn't buy it anywhere. So I belong to this Weston A. Price Foundation, and that was really where I learned about sprouted grains and nuts and seeds. And we use sprouted oat flour and sprouted almond butter in our product. I knew nothing about sprouting or why that was important before I joined the Weston A. Price Foundation. So I learned that when you soak a nut, a grain, or a seed in water overnight with a little bit of an acid like lemon juice or whey, it breaks down the outer coating of that nut or seed. It's got an outer protective coating on it. That outer coating is very hard for us to digest as humans. And actually, in the Bible, in Deuteronomy, we were told to soak our grains overnight. I don't think that was in there just for the heck of it to make things more difficult. I think that was in there for a reason. It makes everything more bioavailable to our body, all the nutrition in there. Like when you think about a seed, right? When a seed gets watered, gets in the right conditions, and it gets water and the nutrition it needs to sprout, a whole bunch of amazing things happen inside that seed that make all that nutrition and all those great enzymes wake up and come to life. And once that happens, when we consume it, our body gets so much more out of it. So a lot of people really have they think they have a gluten intolerance, but it is really the fact that we don't soak our grains and nuts anymore. And it's that outer coating that is causing us digestive distress.
So, how does that factor into your muffins? Can we
So
buy this or do we have to like soak this up? Because one thing we know about today's American consumer, we're about ease and convenience.
That's exactly right. And that's exactly why we came up with this product in the form that we came up with it in. So our product is made with the sprouted oat flour. So you don't have to go get oats and soak them overnight and sprout them and make flour out of it. It's got sprouted oat flour, sprouted almond butter, and then depending on the flavor, it either has sweet potato puree, butternut squash, or pumpkin in it. So again, to pack that nutrition into it, sneaky way to get vegetables into your kids without them knowing they're getting vegetables. And then the product is sold, and you can see the container on the screen here. This is our sweet potato cinnamon with chocolate chips, and it's sold in a 15.5 ounce container frozen. So it's a frozen batter. So all you have to do is take it home, you thaw it, you scoop it, you bake it. And you can bake it in a lot of different forms. And on our website at sproutbake.com, we have a whole bunch of videos. You can make it into muffins, cupcakes, quick breads, coffee cake. My daughter made my birthday cake out of it. We have a double chocolate flavor that's great as call it a cupcake and put frosting on it, and the kids think they're eating a chocolate cupcake.
See, with that, hey, but wouldn't the frosting kind of offset the goodness, the good things you're trying to do?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of frosting you make. You can make cashew cream made out of cashews to put on top, or you can make coconut cream, which is really good for you.
So it really is one of those things where you're talking about like this grew out of a mother's love for her daughter and had to find things for her to be able to enjoy, and now you made it into a business. And but when we take things and we freeze them, is it just as pure and natural as if we were just going ahead and taking them from the raw ingredients that we made in our home?
Yes, actually, the studies show that fruits and vegetables that have been flash frozen right from the field or the garden retain a much higher nutrient content than something that's canned or otherwise processed. Freezing actually, like, boom, just locks everything into it. So it's a great way. Plus, the nice thing is you can buy them. They're good up to 6 months in the freezer, the containers. So you just pull one out whenever you want to make, fresh muffins or cupcakes. The other cool thing about it is once you thaw the batter, you can customize it. So our lemon chia seed is great with blueberries stirred in or cranberries stirred in. You could stir nuts in. You can take the base of it, so to speak, right? The batter thought, and you can kind of create something, that you want to create to your liking.
Did you ever imagine all those years ago trying to come up with these new ingredients, something that your daughter could enjoy, that it would end up in this business? Because you now not only have an online presence, but a storefront as well.
Yeah, we actually fell into the storefront, so to speak. We have an ice cream shop in downtown Lake Orion. And the reason we ended up with the ice cream shop is because we were looking for a kitchen. It wasn't because we were looking for an ice cream shop. We needed a kitchen to produce the product in. And I reached out to the guys at 20 Front Street, which is where I'm below. It's a live music venue in downtown Lake Orion. I reached out to them because I knew they had a kitchen and I thought maybe I could just use it on Sunday, Monday, because they're closed on Sunday and Monday. And then they offered us the whole lower level, which is where the ice cream shop was. And they said, hey, you can sell ice cream too. So we ended up in the ice cream business, which is fitting since I grew up on a dairy farm.
See how the world just like put it all together for you, all the pieces of the puzzle so that you could get to this day.
Really did. It really is interesting. When they made that offer to us, I all I could think was, you know what, the door is open. I'm going to walk through it and we're going to take a chance and see what happens. And if we don't like running an ice cream shop, we don't have to do it forever. We can do something else, but it's our third year and we love it. It's really a blast, being part of the downtown scene, and everybody loves ice cream, and it gives us a great place to promote our Sprout Bake products.
So, with that, to Alaina Campbell with us here on the Mega Cast, she's the owner of Sprout Bacon. Alaina, if I can ask you, because the past year has been unprecedented, and then you're a new business owner. But one thing we do know, so many people are starting to pay more attention to where their food comes from. Has that helped you in your business?
Yes, it has. And it's actually one of my missions, that's very important to me because of how I grew up, because I grew up on a family, dairy farm. And this dairy farm has been in our family since 1865. And it's very important for people to understand where their food comes from and the quality of their food. And yes, there has resurgence, I believe, of people supporting local food sources. And we saw it in the grocery stores, right? When the pandemic started, we saw empty shelves. And that's because, so many of those products were shipped in from other places. They were, manufacturing, a lot of manufacturing got shut down. So food processing, got shut down. And we were seeing food shortages on the store shelves. But when you're buying your food locally from a local farmer, a local food processor, it's much more unlikely to happen, because you're not reliant on those large corporations, for your food. We support a local farm in Metamora called Kairos Farm. It's a community supported agriculture farm, and it's run by a very wonderful couple. And we get all of our eggs from them for our products. So they're all free range, cage free eggs, from chickens that are outside all the time, living like chickens should live, scratching in the dirt and eating bugs and all of that great stuff. That's where all of our eggs come from. And then every week we get a box of fresh vegetables from the farm. We just got our first box for the summer last week. So we got fresh turnips and cucumbers and spinach and everything straight from this farm up in Metamora. And we have partnered with them to help cross promote them. We're actually a pickup spot for 26 families in Lake Orion that get vegetables from them every week. We are the pickup spot, and that's how we can help them out. And we just love it. And it is one of my passions and missions is to teach people and educate people about local food and how important it is to know your local farmer and to support your local farmer.
Well, let's all hope that that is the huge silver lining coming out of the pandemic. Again, Alaina Campbell with us here on the Mega Cash. She's the owner of Sprout Bake, Lake Orion. I know the sweet potato cinnamon muffin is your most popular. Before we say goodbye, the other two big brands, and how can people find your product if they don't live in the Lake Orion area?
So we also have our double chocolate, we have lemon chia seed, we have pumpkin spice, and we have a chocolate five spice. And that has Chinese five spice in it. So it has a little bit of a licorice hint to it. And we sell it at Lucky's Natural Foods in downtown Lake Orion. We sell it, of course, at our ice cream shop. We also sell it at Merchant Market, which is at Fieldstone Winery and Hard Cider in downtown Rochester. And we also sell it at the Cheese Lady in Rochester. We also have coffee shops that are now buying the frozen batter and baking it off for their customers. Lava Mountain here in Orion Township buys our product and they bake it off and sell it for us. And we're looking to expand into more retail stores and into more coffee shops.
See, great things. Sometimes it's been a trying year, but sometimes all that extra time can lead to great things coming out of the pandemic. And if anything, just understanding where our food comes from and supporting local. And with that, Alaina Campbell with us, owner of Sprout Bake, we so appreciate your time and we wish you and your daughter continued success as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.